Mikel, important win. They didn't make it easy, but you guys kept knocking, kept asking questions. So how did you feel about the performance overall?
Well, very happy to win here. It's a really difficult place to come. I think that is very organized. By the way, I take the opportunity to say what a beautiful stadium they built. I had chills with the atmosphere, with the beauty of it. So congratulations. And in the first half we had some moments that we were very dominant without really creating much. We scored the goal. And in the second half we had 2 or 3 big open chances that if you want to be more relaxed at the end, you should score in the Premier League.
Yeah, on these big chances, is it about being more relaxed then ultimately? Because why couldn't you put the game to bed? You had a ball in the post.
Two,
yes.
One Leo, one Zubimendi. Bukayo is totally free inside the box. He's got time. He decides to shoot and the ball gets cleared just on the line. So that's those moments that you have to be more clinical to have bigger margins.
Oh, sorry.
After the Wolves game, you weren't happy with the performance. A week later, how are you happy with the response the players have given you tonight?
Well, very happy with the result, with big parts of the performance against a team that very difficult to beat, really well organized. They can really stress you in the way they play. The game can become chaotic. We didn't allow that happening, except of one sequence of 2 corners and 1 throw-in after we kicked the ball out of play. And in the second half we have 3 massive chances to put the second goal or the third one. We didn't do it, and you can suffer at the end. We didn't because we haven't conceded anything. But overall, the margins maybe they could have been bigger.
And just on Victor, naturally we've been talking about how much he's been spoken about in recent weeks. So for him to get the crucial goal must lift the whole weight off his shoulders.
Yeah, I was very happy for him. They took ownership on the pitch between Martin, Bukayo, and him to decide who was the taker. And they made a great decision because Victor put the ball in the back of the net.
Sam, Telegraph?
Hi, Mikel. Just a word on Declan Rice. I know we ask about him every week, but it's another very impressive performance.
Unbelievable. Yeah, his all-around play, his leadership on the pitch, the amount of balls that he regained as well that allowed us to run has been incredibly consistent this year again. And what a massive place for us he is.
Do you feel at all that your team was a little bit lucky not to concede a penalty with the Saliba and the Barry incident?
I know they checked it. I haven't seen the image. I haven't seen even our penalty as well. So I don't know. They made a decision. We are all involved in a lot of situations in the box, so I don't want to really comment too much on that.
Isan, Daily Mail?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
What were your thoughts on Martin Odegaard obviously gifting the penalty to Gyökeres? It kind of...
Great decision.
It not finished yet. It kind of had similarities to September 2023 when he gave Havertz the ball and then
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, yes,
yeah.
And he obviously scored. Does that kind of show the selflessness of the captain and going out of his way to help a player under scrutiny?
Yes, I agree with that, and as well the confidence on the player, because obviously he practices every day and he's unbelievable at it, and he put the ball in the back of the net. So I love when players take ownership and decide by themselves what is the best decision. That's something really positive.
And what were your thoughts on Martin's performance, particularly in the second half? He seemed to grow into the game a bit more with his passing.
Yeah, he was much more vertical as well. We find some spaces. We found him to have more vertical attacks as well. The moment they started to be a bit more aggressive in their press, and in those moments we should have decided the game a bit earlier.
Mikel, this is the 3rd time in 4 years you're going to be top at Christmas. What gives you confidence and belief that this time will be different and you can go on and win the title?
No, what it gives me belief and confidence the level of performance and the consistency of that. I mean, that's very, very difficult to do in this league, and that means that the team is constantly there and nothing. Enjoy the process of winning, and you're going to have to go to difficult places, you're going to have difficult moments. We have dealt with a lot of things already, and we are there. And what we want to do, work for the next game, try to improve and make sure that everybody's with that spirit and energy and enjoying that.
Art, Athletic.
Hi, Mikel. You mentioned a couple of times there the margins could have been bigger. Is that something you felt as a theme throughout these kind of recent games? Because it seemed that games have been a bit tighter than maybe they needed to be.
Yes, but you hit the post twice, with players that normally in those positions they're going to put the ball in the net. But it's what it is. We have to try, we have to continue. The more we insist, the more would happen and the margins will be bigger. And that's what we have to try to do.
And a few times when you've got to this period of the season. I remember a couple of seasons ago you mentioned ball speed being really important. I was just wondering how you felt that's been in these games, especially in the first half here before the penalty. How did you feel your team were moving the ball?
Yeah, at the end you have to dominate the tempo of the game. In order to do that, you have to understand what the game requires, when you have to play really fast, when you have to slow the game down. If you provoke the things that you want to provoke with the ball, is right. But sometimes when you have to be more incisive, more aggressive, you have to speed up the game. And today we have moments that we read that really well, and other times that we were a bit hesitant to make the right decision. And that's something that we can improve.
And finally, Matt from the Standard.
He's hit a few, hasn't he, Bukayo Saka? Good performance from him, and Arsenal got the job done. What did you make of Gyökeres' all-round performance, Jamie?
He did okay. It's a struggle for him at the moment. I think he's finding it hard up there. That's his 5th goal this season. He doesn't look, for whatever reason, and it shouldn't be the case because he's been in the English leagues before, it looks like he's really struggling with the physicality of it because he's a very big guy. I very rarely see him win a duel one-on-one when I thought he could have physically overpowered people. In terms of his finesse and touch and bringing people into play, not good enough. He's finding it tough. He needs a little bit of confidence. I don't think we're ever... Look, he's never going to be like a Bergkamp that's going to bring the ball, roll people and play little clever passes. He's a battering ram that's going to score goals and make big moments and hopefully win you games. The argument tonight, yes, he won the game, but he won it with a penalty. Now, you want to see him winning games with like really important goals, you know, that are going to make the difference in the big games. At the moment, he's done OK. I don't think you could say anything more than that. Daniel, you're a centre-forward, it's your domain. What would you say?
I agree. He's not done a hell of a lot to make you feel like, yes, I'm convinced he's the long-term answer. I think right now where the team are at, his style, does it fit what they're doing? Yes, because he stretches the game, he makes different runs in behind. But I do feel that the way they play with goal-scoring wingers, Saka's a goal-scoring winger, Trossard's a goal-scoring winger, you do need maybe someone different in there at times because he needs to be fed. He needs to be that focal point. He needs to be the main man. People feeding him to score goals and giving him chances. He doesn't shoot often. You know, his shot output's down from when it was at his time at Sporting. He averaged maybe 3 to 4 shots per game there. He's averaging under 2 for Arsenal. So we're talking about a guy who, at the end of the day, if you want to get the best out of a player who's centre forward scoring 30-plus goals a season, we look at someone like Erling Haaland. He's had 54 shots this season, maybe more now after the game. You're looking at a guy in Gyökeres who I think has only had 17 prior to tonight. So all in all, yes, he's had some injuries and things, but I think his type of striker, you need to play for them. It can't be, we're going to get 10 goals from here, 7 from there, 9 from there. He needs to be the focal point.
When he was at Sporting, obviously they played under Amorim, they played 3 at the back, 2 wing-backs. So I would have imagined he'd have been getting a lot more service with right footers, like playing the ball into the space so he can maybe come onto it. Obviously, it's a slightly different proposition at Arsenal because Saka wants to get it back onto his left foot, chop it back, or Martinelli or Trossard. Do you think that can make a difference sometimes for forward, that he doesn't perhaps get the service?
Yeah, I mean, the service, again, it's... If you're the striker going into an environment where a team's had success, which Arsenal have, they've not lifted the Premier League, but they've been knocking on the door time and time again. The answer on the outside from ourselves was potentially it's a goal-scoring centre-forward, but you then have to change as a team in order to let this player fit into what you're doing. So if I look at Arsenal now and I look at the wingers, you could say, OK, Eze, he's not a goal-driven winger. He's a assist guy. He's a guy who's going to advance the ball forward. So in turn, you would imagine that he could build chemistry. Saka, of course, is an all-round brilliant player, but the point I'm trying to make is, with strikers like that, the service has to be for them. It can make you more one-dimensional, which I don't think is what Arsenal want to do. You see the plethora of ways which they can score goals, which is why I think they're so good. But in bringing Gyökeres, when you're playing against Arsenal with him centre-forward, they are a very different team to having Marino, Havertz or Gabriel Jesus. I think they're slightly more fluid as an attack when those guys are playing. But when you have Gyökeres playing centre-forward, it's almost like we've got to feed him. He's a running behind kind of guy. Those guys who stretch the game and make those runs in behind aren't giving you much coming to feet. They're not going to be linking the play. They're not going to be bringing other guys in or potentially getting assists for players to play in behind. So in turn, their main driving force is I'm going to hold the ball up as best I can, but my main thing is making runs in behind, to score goals. That's what he was brought to do. So it's an Arteta conundrum, really, in a sense of, and it's a good thing, I suppose, because you do say, okay, well, we got horses for courses. If we're playing against a certain style, we go with Gyökeres. We got Marino.
Where does it suit more? Does it suit more playing away from home when there might be a bit more space behind a back four?
I would say so, but again, once you're playing for a team where everybody is trying to stop you, even when you're playing against teams away from home, you're going to face, low blocks from time to time. I think it's about his game evolving to suit the team, but also the team evolving to suit him. But they've got so many different answers, and I think when you've got Marino, you've got Havertz coming back, and you've got Gabriel Jesus, who's now fit, who's been very good for Arsenal. Now the manager does have, many decisions and many options in his camp, which is good, but it's going to be difficult for Gyökeres to be the only focal point, because I just think Arsenal aren't set up to just serve the striker. They've got too many good players in too many different positions to now change this season to do that.
I suppose we're asking questions particularly because this was not a fluent Arsenal attacking performance, again, particularly in the first half. And it took the penalty to really open the game up a little bit from their part. It comes from Jake O'Brien making a rash decision. But Gyökeres is right in the middle of that, trying to get on the end of it, isn't he?
Yeah, Calafiori obviously makes a big run, but Jake O'Brien, it's just a moment of madness. And it's he'll be so disappointed in himself because he's just thinking, what have I done? He's just come in there, he'd nearly given away a penalty just before. Sometimes as a player, you make that first mistake, you compound it, your head's almost, or your body's like in a tumble dry, you're getting tossed around everywhere, you can't quite figure yourself out, and I think that was just a huge mistake. You can see it in his face there. He knows he made a mistake.
This was actually a pressure kick for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and he opted for just pure power, and we've been critical of him. We want to see more, but the truth is, in about a week's time, it'll say 1-0 Gyökeres against Everton, 3 points. No one will care that it was a penalty, and he scored the winning goal.
And it does feel significant because, as we said at half-time, Ødegaard's on the field and has taken penalties. Bukayo Saka is on the field and has taken penalties, and it's 2 years since they were both on the field and someone else. And that was Kai Havertz, when I think the consensus was that Arsenal were then trying to help Kai Havertz get off the mark almost and get his Arsenal career going. So I don't know if it's the same thing that's happening here, but probably not at 0-0.
No, I don't think so. I think he's used to taking penalties. He's got a great strike on him.
Well, he's got the confidence. Penalty, do you?
Yeah,
they obviously trust him though to put him in this position.
If you're not trusting a guy like this who scored 30+ goals in 2 seasons away from the Premier League to step up and score a goal, then you've signed the wrong player. He's got to be wanting to be in these pressure moments. He's going to want to be the guy to take the onus on his shoulders, to be the match winner. Tonight, like Jamie just said, it doesn't matter what we want to say about his performance. When it's all said and done, it will say Gyökeres 1-0, and he was the match winner tonight.
There was a big moment at the other end as well, and Arsenal got their penalty. Everton thought they should have one as well, and you saw David Moyes confronting the officials at the end of the game. Let's have a look at it. It's Tierno Barry in the mix here with William Saliba. Jamie?
Yeah, I think we've definitely seen his given. Do you know what it reminded me a little bit? Do you remember there was a goal, Brighton, João Pedro, and it was the same player, Saliba, involved. When he actually kicks it, he heads it, João Pedro, and you can see him here. Tierno Barry just gets his right foot to it there, and he definitely kicks him. And you can see his reaction. You see Jack Grealish. Look,
Jack's absolutely convinced.
Yeah, apoplectic. He wants it there, but you can just see there that he definitely gets his foot up, Barry, and the Saliba kicks the back of his heel as a striker, Daniel.
Yeah, you'd expect the penalty, but this is the stroke of luck you need in order to go that one step further. These are the decisions. I have some friends who are Arsenal fans, and they've been upset with decisions over the years in terms of referees not giving them the things that they want. I think these are the calls that sometimes you need that stroke of luck. Could be going away here saying 1-1, and now we're saying, well, Arsenal have been given a penalty, Everton haven't, and they'll feel hard done by. So, you take your loss and you move forward on the Everton side. But would you be disappointed and angry as the players? 100%.
David Moyes will come out, and I've got no doubt he'll be disappointed he didn't get that. We've seen some penalties, we've seen some decisions over this weekend, and there's a lot worse than that have been given. And when you want VAR, we've got VAR, whether we like it or not. That's what it's there for, to intervene. I think they were very fortunate there, Arsenal.
All right, we'll bring some reaction to that in a short while. We're going to head...
Your destiny. I think that's what football's all about. the more you can be in control of your own destiny, especially at the top of the league. You don't want to be worrying about other teams. Oh, we need you to do this, we need you to do that. They're tunnel vision, and that's what they've got to be in order to go that extra step to lift the Premier League. And they're capable. They've got the squad, they've got the manager, they seem to be providing the answers. They've had a little blip, they've had the injuries though. I mean, it's a long season still to go, but where they are right now, you know, going into Christmas, they'll be happy knowing that, look, we just got to continue doing what we're doing, boys. And I'm sure they're full of confidence right now.
I think it's a good point. They have had injuries, lots of muscular injuries. Sometimes that can't be a coincidence as well. That can sometimes be on what you're doing in training, how you're looking after yourselves in terms of the management of everything. Maybe he might have to look at that differently, the manager, because I just don't think that becomes a coincidence. You know, the important players have been injured, missing vital minutes, and that might be the difference at the end of the season. It's all right having the strongest squad, which they possibly have, alongside Man City now with the players that they've brought in. But it has certainly affected them in that little run they had. You know, when you lose Gabriel and Saliba, it makes it extremely difficult and it becomes a lot more level playing field for everybody else.
So how do you see it right now, Jamie? Because Arsenal are winning games like today, 1-0. A penalty has got them through, although, as Mikel Arteta rightly said, they hit the post a couple of times. City have scored 3 again.
Yeah.
Whose position would you rather be in?
I can't change my mind every week. I've said Arsenal. I fancy Liverpool at the start of the season. Obviously, that's changed. But now I fancy Arsenal. I think they've got the best squad. But what I will say is there's one player that's almost single-handedly changing it for me in Manchester City and making them such an enjoyable side to watch, and that's Ryan Cherki. He has brought so much enjoyment to that team. I watch how City are playing and I look at that team and I think I'd love to play in that team. It looks such a joy. They're smiling, they're celebrating, they're doing the robot together, Haaland and Cherki. I look at Arsenal at the moment, it feels like everything's a little bit hard work. It feels difficult. You have to grind wins out. But when I look at Man City, they're a real danger. And I didn't see that 6 weeks ago, I have to be honest, but that's Pep and that's the players that they've signed. But Cherki looks like right now, certainly the signing of the season, because he's been an absolute revelation in that 10 role. He's right up your street as well.
Joy to watch. Some of the passes he does, the touches, he excites the fans. I love watching him perform. And of course, you know, we can never forget about Haaland, and the run he's on for goals is just astronomical what he's doing right now, and it doesn't look like he's going to slow down.
But you're both still on Arsenal's side, just to be clear.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with Arsenal. I can't change it. But
I'm not with Arsenal. I think Arsenal are an unbelievable football club, but I think right now with Man City and what they're doing, you know, I think that they're looking at Arsenal thinking, you know, we kind of like what we're seeing, but I think once Gabriel comes back, he makes a massive difference for Arsenal. I think he's been such a big miss for them throughout the course of the series he picks up, but to Jamie's point, it's about ensuring that these players are fit and stay fit. That's the most difficult thing with the intensity in today's game.
Disappointing night for Everton, who pushed Arsenal all the way. Here's David Moyes with Natalie Jedra.
David, you guys competed really well, restricted Arsenal, had good moments on the match. How did you feel about the performance overall?
I thought the performance, with the words you used, were right. I think we're competitive edge, we're spirit, everything we showed about it, I think we showed for long periods in the game. We didn't quite have the quality at times to get a goal or maybe on some actions, but overall I thought we'd done a good job against Arsenal. We tried to make it a tough game, and I think it was for them.
Defensively, what do you feel worked so well? Because, as you said, you made it hard for them.
Yeah, I didn't think that Arsenal had given us too many problems before the penalty kick. I thought, if anything, we'd probably started the game better than Arsenal. But we gave away a poor decision by Jake O'Brien to raise his arms, which was made it difficult. I think that was their first corner kick in the game, and obviously the penalty. But like, these things happen. Players don't mean to do it, or I don't think they do. But obviously you shouldn't be sticking your arms up in the air, that's for sure.
We saw you talking to the referee at the end of the game, a bit frustrated. Could you share something about that conversation with us, please?
I'd like to, but I'd probably be fined in some ways if I do so. You just need to find a way at Sky of it so that we can talk about the referees, or don't bother asking me. But, you know, it was a day where just a lot of things didn't quite suit and go our way. There was quite a few people going down injured, and the referee was blown up for them. It's a different football club. You're quite tough here, you know what I mean? We play tough. We expect the referees to be the same.
Was there frustration specifically with the Saliba high foot?
Well, yeah, because I think they're saying it's insignificant contact, and it may well have been. It may well have been, but they come up with new words for every decision, don't they?
Talking about your decision making up front and creation, there's been that it has been reported widely, and you've spoken about how much of an influence Shrewsbury Hall is in terms of creativity and Jai as well. How do you make sure that you get ideas on the pitch with the players you have available?
Well, we train, we speak, we show them, we do all the things which I would expect any coach to do with their players. These players have been involved for quite a while, the players who've come into the team, so it shouldn't be something new to them. I didn't think it was tonight. We missed maybe some craft from Ellie, and we missed Kieran's ability to make good choices on the ball. But that's football. We're always going to lose some players during the season, and we've lost some at the moment.
You've competed really well against good sides during this season. Do you think that's the aspect that is missing for you guys to get more from these games, is the decision-making in the final third?
Yeah, but you're talking about the last two games have been Chelsea and Arsenal, two of the best teams in the league. So for us to be disappointed coming away and not maybe getting something from them says quite a lot. But again, I can only really praise the players. There's great spirit, and they're showing it in abundance and trying to make things hard for the opposition and the better teams. And we tried that tonight, and for long periods we made it difficult for Arsenal, but not difficult enough. We gave them away an easy decision when they should have had to work a lot harder for their goal.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Cheers.
Boys, well done. Good point here at Hugh Dickinson, but Everton made it hard. How do you feel about the performance?
Yeah, they made it really tough. Also on us to not kill the game in certain moments, but yeah, credit to them. It's always tough coming here, and yeah, we're just happy we got the win in the end.
What was it that they were doing that made it so hard for you guys to break them?
I think they have a good structure and the intensity they played, with the fans, and obviously all their players are so passionate, so they gave everything. So yeah, that made it hard for us, but like I said, we had our chances, and we could have killed the game off earlier.
Ultimately, your penalty, Victor, got Arsenal the win. Could you talk us about the decision-making because we had a few penalty takers on the pitch, and we saw Odegaard handing the ball to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a few that can take it, and yeah, this time was me that took it, and yeah, it was important to score that one, so it was nice.
Yeah, and you really sent it. It was a powerful shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's usually like that, so yeah.
How important was it for you to get a goal tonight, to get the penalty? Because, of course, there's always pressure when you're playing for a club like Arsenal, but also when you're playing as a striker.
Yeah, you always want to score goals, so yeah, that's the main target every game, I think, for all the attacking players. So yeah, that's what we want to do, and of course today we could have scored a few more, but yeah, the most important is that we won the game.
And how have you been feeling? Because you didn't get much of a pre-season, and then you got the injury, but you've been getting a lot of praise from Mikel Arteta, and we see how much you work hard on the pitch.
Yeah, I think I try to do my best always on the pitch, and then, yeah, of course you need to get to know the system, how we play, and then, yeah, fit into that role and adapt to that. But yeah, we're playing quite well. We're performing. We're a good position in the league and Champions League. So yeah, we just keep going like this.
And Bukayo, minutes before you guys played Everton, City played before you and got the win. How important was it for you to manage this game well, especially emotionally as well?
No, there's not really any emotions in it. We take the emotions out. We just know we're focused on our job. And this week, since last week, we were focused on winning here, and we did that today. So yeah, we're back on top of the table, but we're not watching City too much or the other teams. We just know we're in control now, and when we win every week, we'll stay there.
Another really good performance from you guys and from yourself, so you're player of the match. Congratulations, Bukayo.
Thank you very much.
Could you do the honors, Victor, please?
Here you go, bro.
Cheers, brother.
You have enough space at home or not? Yeah.
I like that. There's enough space. And deserved, right? Man of the match for him.
Well, yeah, you could say that probably. You know, Bukayo Saka's always involved in a lot of things that's happening with Arsenal, but yeah, it wasn't one of his blistering, unbelievable performances, but yeah, he done what he needed to do today and spoke very well. You can see that everybody's very composed, very calm about what's happening. No one's getting too excited about being at the top of the league now. They know, like he said, if they carry on doing what they're doing and winning games, they can stay there. It's in their hands. So the main thing is that they're all on the right page in respect of what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah, and Wright just used the word composed. They are very composed, very calm, not getting too excited or happy about the win. They looked quite sort of calm in that interview.
They did, yeah. I mean, they've been in this situation before, haven't they, where they've been in and around the top for a long period of time. In previous seasons, they've dropped points late on, and that's when the questions are going to, not around Christmas. The questions are going to come around March, April, May.
Exactly.
And that's can you hang on to a 2-point lead then when Man City win just before you?
Yeah.
And then that's when the pressure is. At the moment, of course, there's pressure. They want to keep that advantage, but. You know, as I say, they've done this before. They've done this before for a few years. It's the last little bit. It's the hardest little bit. And but they do feel like and look like they're in a better position now than they ever have been. It's a strong squad, and they were, despite it only being 1-0, they just felt like they were in control for the majority of the game.
You know, the thing is, Mike, it's just in those games you just want to try and win games a little bit more comfortably, so as you can feel it, because. There does seem to be times in games, and I've watched the last four or five Arsenal games, where there's moments where they look vulnerable, and it's something that I feel that they should be taking more control. They should be managing the game better in the way that they're trying to play out. Maybe, I don't know, even with the subs, so as people can maybe start running the ball into areas, keeping the ball in that final third to waste time, not trying to pass it around the back. And be a little bit more progressive with what we're trying to do to score more goals, because I didn't feel like we were we should have been more of a goal threat today to put that Everton side away, make it a little bit more comfortable. But in the end, you know, the 3 points is what's important, and we got them again. That is the main thing.
Yeah, and I guess, is that something that you can work on in training? Is that something that just comes with time, like game management?
I think Arsenal in general, and it's not a criticism at all, every single team has a strength to it. And I think if you look at previous winners of the league in the last few years, you look at Liverpool, you look at Manchester, they are attacking, goal-getting, creative teams. This Arsenal team is so good. They've got such a good goalkeeper, such a good back four. They work together. They've got a great number 6, you know, Declan Wright. And they base themselves on a very solid foundation. Yes. They're a more defensive team. So I don't think they're ever going to have a shootout and beat any team 5-4 like a City or like a Liverpool did. They're more calculated than that.
Well, do you know what? Teed me up perfectly, because I'm delighted to say that their goalkeeper, David Wright, joins us live from Hill Dickinson. David, thank you so much for talking to us. Congratulations on the victory and a 9th clean sheet this season, more than any other goalkeeper in the league. First of all, how do you feel after that performance?
Hello, thank you. No, we feel great after the 3 points. I think we need to put the games to bed a little bit earlier, not to have that pressure at the end of the game, but credit to everyone, credit to the players that we defended very, very well. We gave them little chances, and just it's great to keep the clean sheet. It makes it easier to win games.
Hey David, how you doing? Ian Wright, my friend. Congratulations on the win. I just wanted to say, David, in respect of those periods during the game, is it a worry? Is anyone saying anything in the dressing room about the way that sometimes we give the ball away in certain instances? We're giving teams impetus to come and attack us. Is that a worry, or am I just looking into it too deeply?
No, I think we set our standards. Of course, we don't want to give the ball away in certain situations and certain occasions, but sometimes football is like this, as you know. And it's just the way the team reacted, the way we track back, the way we want to make right that mistake. So, you know, we can give the ball away. That's part of football, but it's how you react and how you track back to not concede the chance after that.
Yep.
And tell me something, David, top of the table at Christmas, which is lovely, I guess, for you guys to enjoy the festive period just for this moment, even though the fixtures are coming thick and fast. But does this season feel different for you and the team? Because it does to everyone watching. It feels like Arsenal have a more complete squad than they've ever had.
Well, we know we have a deeper squad from the beginning. You know, like last year we had a lot of injuries. This year we've been having a lot of injuries again. But obviously the squad is a little bit bigger, and we just don't look at that. We just look forward, look into the present, game by game. We know this is a really, really important period in Christmas, especially the games we play every 2-3 days. Now we have the Carabao Cup on Tuesday, and there's no time to think too much about it. Just game by game, and not to look too much into the future.
Well, we wish you all the very best with all the fixtures coming up, and thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Well done with the win.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
We always talk about title-winning sides and teams that are at the top, and they always have a world-class goalkeeper, don't they?
You can't win a league without a good goalkeeper. That's one of the main things that you need to have. And whatever we say about when he first emerged, when he came, and Aaron Ramsdale and everything happened with that, we've seen in the last 3 seasons, is this goalkeeper has kept us right up there, right amongst it. And, there might be times where, like, especially when the ball goes back and he's getting really pressed hard, where he takes a couple of chances and sometimes he gets out of it. Sometimes, it kind of can cost us in games. But he's easily one of the best goalkeepers in the world. And, alongside that defence, and when Gabriel Magalhaes comes back as well, we have got one of the best goalkeepers and two of the best central defenders in the world. So that gives you confidence, but he's one of the main reasons why we're doing what we're doing as well.
Absolutely, the stats back that up as well. Most clean sheets and fewest conceded this season for David Raya. OK, you can see Arsenal's next 6 fixtures there. So, as he mentioned there, the games are coming thick and fast. But let's talk about a couple of key incidents. And Mo, you mentioned about Everton feeling that they might have deserved a penalty. There's 2 incidents, so let's bring you the first incident. But this one actually inside the box, which is why it wasn't given in the end.
And which is why VAR can do nothing about it, unless it was a last man, let's say, a dog, so as they call it. But there wasn't. There was a defender covering there. So the only thing it can be is a foul and maybe a yellow card. And VAR aren't permitted to get involved in things like that. So I did actually think it was a foul, but once it wasn't given, for everybody that's screaming, well, what about VAR? It cannot get involved in this one. So maybe just bad luck from an Everton point of view that the referee didn't view it like that. But it probably should have been a free kick on the edge of the box. Now, this is a lot different. I think it's a penalty, personally. I've seen loads of goals or loads of penalties being given for something like that. Again, referee didn't see it in real time, and it's just a question whether VAR think that that's a real error that they should go and revisit, and obviously they thought not.
Apparently, contact not sufficient were the words.
What's that mean? We've seen them given. I saw one given. I think it was Arsenal with Brighton. Was it Brighton? I think it was. I can't remember who it was, but I've seen one of those, and what's that? I don't know what that means. Contact not sufficient. So what? He's not kicked him hard enough for it to be a penalty. He's kicked him. We've seen that happen. We've seen penalties given for the minimum of touches. So again, I think that if I'm David Moyes, I'm probably disappointed with that. Obviously, as an Arsenal fan, you're delighted that they've not given that. But it's the words that come with not giving it, like minimum of touches. We've seen just marginal touching and people getting penalties. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it feels a little bit inconsistent at times, doesn't it, Mo?
Yeah, as I say, I've seen lots of penalties given for that situation. He kicks the ball in the air. Yeah, he's not in control of the ball, but does that matter? I mean, the ball is still in play, and he's been kicked and he's gone down.
In the penalty
area. In the penalty area. I have seen a lot of those given, and I thought it should have been a penalty. The big question, should VAR have got involved?
Absolutely, and just a word on the fact he does celebrate a milestone match today, and what a manager he's been over the 6 years.
Unbelievable. What he's done, what he's turned Arsenal into, what he had when he got there, what he had to change in that dressing room. Owners, there was a lot of noise with the owners. Everything's changed now on his head, and he's got the team he wanted, and they're challenging. for the 4th year running now.
It was turbulent at the start, but he's managed to pull things round.
Well, 6 years of doing a really good job, but the one thing that Arsenal fans want is that league title. So he hasn't completed the job yet. It might be this season. It's looking that way.
It is indeed. Well, on that note, it's time for us to say goodbye. Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Wrighty. And thank you to all of you around the world for joining us. So Arsenal deliver their fans a perfect Christmas present. Top of the tree on Christmas Day. We'll see you next time for more Premier League action. Goodbye. A milestone match for Mikel Arteta, taking charge of Arsenal Football Club for 6 years to this very day. Good result. They got the 3 points. They did what they needed to. But what did you make of the overall performance from Arsenal?
Well, again, it was a little bit nervy. Arsenal don't make it easy. You'd like the game to be kind of finished in the second half, maybe 60, 65 minutes, so you can relax. But it's never like that. I don't think it's like that in the last 3-4 years I've been watching anyway. But, that's the only thing that needs to happen. I think that Arsenal need to be a bit more ruthless with the chances that they get to take them so as they can be more relaxed in the game. They can play with a little bit more confidence. Maybe get some subs on to change the dynamics a little bit. But, it just feels like it's always so tight. Yeah. Because Everton, just like I watched with Wolves the other day, you feel like you've got a chance, whereas... you looked at Liverpool last season, the City teams before, and all the great teams, you've got no chance with these teams. And that's where Arsenal need to get to, so as they're comfortable in the game. And that's what I want personally. So as
I'm sure every Arsenal fan.
Yeah, so as I could watch with just a little bit more calmness,
But do you think that was always going to happen? Because now Arsenal were literally the ones to beat this season. Everyone's talking about them. They are top of the table now after that again. And it just feels like when you're there, everyone raises their game just a little bit, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And again, I don't want to take anything away from the fact that they got the 3 points, because that is the main thing. But saying that, I'm just saying from an Arsenal, you just want it to be a little bit more comfortable. I'm sure the manager would as well, because there were enough chances for it to be a lot more comfortable.
Speaking of comfortable, Gyökeres scored a very comfortable-looking penalty. Talk us through the incident, though, to begin with.
Yeah, it's incredible. Look at the Arsenal reaction. Nobody appeals for the penalty. That was a clear handball. There's not one. Everyone's just jogging out. There was nothing. Nobody. There was one person that was looked by the referee to the left of the referee. There.
Yeah, look.
They're the only people. So where the referee was actually the best view in the house, and he didn't see it. It had to go to VAR. There was one person, two Arsenal players that saw it, and they were both outside the box. It was incredible, because it is an absolute stonewall penalty. Absolute. And that's where VAR came into its own, I guess.
Well, to be honest, it was a great... You know what, he's just put his foot through that, and that's what you want to do. Especially with a player who only got 4 Premier League goals this season, to step up and take it. I think the responsibility and them giving him the responsibility was brilliant, but, he done exactly what you should do, just put your foot right through it.
And there was pressure in that moment. Let's look at one penalty appeal for Everton as well. They really thought they deserved it. What did you make of this, Mo?
Yeah, I thought this was a penalty, to be fair, as well. I've seen so many of these given. Again, I think it's Jack Grealish really appeals, but not many other people do. And Jack actually then goes and runs, once the ball goes out, he runs towards the referee to make sure he's aware. But this is the best angle now. He just gets there before him. Saliba definitely kicks the bottom of his foot. He goes down. I mean, I think that's a penalty, personally.
Yeah. And again, when you see some of the penalties that the marginal penalties that are given and the margins we're dealing with, whether it's offside or penalties or touch and what it is, then what I've seen in the last couple of years or since the VAR is I've seen that penalty given. So
and Grealish's reaction there tells you as well. He really reacted, didn't he?
He's really going mad there when you can see it, because again, you only go that crazy when you know that they've been given before.
Okay, well on that...
Good to be there, but I'm telling you, so we cannot beat Arsenal if we don't improve in our game. So will not be enough. People say, it's what really, truly believe. I'm not saying I'm not happy. I'm so happy. So we are in good position, Champions League. We are close on top of the league. You have played teams at 6-7 position. The qualification for the Champions next season is game by game a little bit bigger and bigger, and that is really important. But what we define the team is improving in our game, and every game play in different way defensively, and that's why the way you have to do, we were not in the right spots, and that is what you have to improve.
7 wins in a row in all competitions now for Manchester City. From nowhere, they're starting to gain a lot of momentum. Arsenal's biggest challengers for the title.
Yeah, and you'd expect them to be. We know what they're capable of. You could easily say that City could go on a run now where they could go between 12 and 20 games. unbeaten with the quality that they've got. Yes, there's a little bit of a soft centre in respect of playing through them at the moment. If you've got the quality to counter-attack them and then score, then you might be able to get something from City. But in the main, they really are, they're purring at the moment. Even if they do concede goals, they'll just score more.
And for as long as Haaland keeps scoring, they're going to keep winning because he was involved in all the goals today.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting quite boring, isn't it, talking about Haaland? What's he scored now? He's about 19 or something.
Yeah, 19.
Premier League, yeah.
25 in all comps.
Yeah, he's a phenomenon and scoring goals at a rate that we've rarely seen before. He can not be involved in games and still pop up and score. Left foot didn't work, so his weaker foot, he knocks that into the back of the net. He's just a brilliant player. You can't play him high because he's brilliant running in behind. He's got that speed and great one-on-one finishing ability. And you can't really sit deep because you chip the ball and he's bigger and stronger. And you just can't. So many strikers you can play against. They've got a strength, let's say, and a weakness for that matter. Whereas you can't play in any way against him and keep him quiet.
Yeah.
He obviously gets an assist with this one as well. Lovely little intricate goal from Manchester City. Great quick feet and West Ham are in a little bit of trouble. I mean, this is the last place you want to go at the moment. They're on a good run, scoring goals freely. And results didn't really go too well for West Ham as well today.
I thought West Ham were very poor today, but saying that, City took full advantage, and that's what you want to do. This is what I'm talking about. The ruthlessness is that when you've got a team that are making mistakes or not tight enough, you look at like the goal before, you look at this goal, you look at someone like Erling Haaland, they're not even nowhere near tight enough. To me, should have got across there quicker. Because they're going to score, but the City will punish you, and then you're making mistakes like this from West Ham. It's like comedy.
It's mad, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
When things are going so well for you, the first chance, he has a shot, and it's a big chance. The goalkeeper saves it. There's loads of people in the box, and who does it drop to? Right in front of him again. Yeah. Two people in the same team tackling each other, and the ball drops, and it's impossible to miss. I mean,
that's when you're in that purple patch.
Oh, when you're in that purple patch, you can't miss. Everything just drops for you. And if you go 3 or 4 games without scoring, it doesn't mean you're playing any worse. It's just those things aren't dropping for you.
Yeah.
And take it while it's there because he's on a great run.
Yeah,